All right. So problem number 8 says the coordinate grid shows the parallelogram PQRS. And then it says the parallelogram PQRS is rotated 90 degrees clockwise about the origin to create the parallelogram P prime, blah, blah, blah. And then it says which rule describes this transformation. Look, do not get bogged down with the image because they're asking for the rule. They're not asking you to actually give the rotation of this image. If I were to talk about this rotation of this image, I would look at the coordinate point, like let's say I'd be starting at my x value is negative x and my y value is a positive y. Okay, but we're not looking at that. We're looking at the rule. We're starting with x comma y. So just ignore the image. Ignore the graph that they're giving it to you. If they give you a problem similar to this, make sure that you pay attention that they're asking for the rule and they're not actually having you look at the problem itself. All right, now, when we're talking about rotating, and we're talking about rotating clockwise, so if you have my clock, this is 12, this is 3, and this is 6. So that means that we're going in that direction. Clockwise is in that direction, in that order. All right, now, what happens is and there'll be an easier way for me to show you with sticky notes, but what happens is if I start with x and y, when I rotate it 90 degrees, these two, so x becomes y, and it becomes the opposite sign of whatever that value y was, or what x was. So now y gets moved to the spot where x was, and x gets moved to where y was, and it's negative value. Since it's positive here, it's now going to become negative. If it was negative, then it would become positive. So look, and this is why I want you to make sure that you're paying attention. We're not, look, here on our parent functions, it's giving me on my answer choices, they're all x and y, x and y. Here, if I were to talk about what the rule is for that one, I'd be looking at negative x comma y. So this here would be the actual rule. So so y, your second place, stays. They switch places, and then whichever one rotates over the other one gets the opposite sign. All right? So this is a 90 degrees. So now my answer choice would be, let's see, I'm going to look for one that has y first. So that one doesn't, that one doesn't, that one does, and that one does. But this one, now I need to look at my x values. My x value has positive, sorry, it should be negative, is negative, so my answer choice is J. All right? Now, if I were to rotate this, just for example, I'm going to rotate this another 90 degrees. So I'm going to rotate this for a total of 180 degrees. Now, this x gets moved to the y, so that and the sign does not change. Then the y gets moved to the x, but the sign changes. So for 180 degrees rotation, this would be negative x, negative y. All right? And if I were to do an additional 90 degrees, again, we're going to switch. So that gets moved to there and gets opposite sign. That gets moved to there, size the same. So then 90, so that would be 270. So this would be 270 degrees. And let me put my degree symbols. All right. And then x would get moved to there. So it'd be negative y, negative x. So that's a real quick, easy rule to work through transformations and rotating and all that kind of stuff. All right. I will go over the next problems in the next video because I don't want this video to get too long.